Hello, welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Reference to which one is the companies to build recent.
Yeah. Thankfully, nothing major happened today, so we're able to do this on Saturday. I was out of the house for a bit. Basically, so my cousin is getting married later this year, and the bride-to-be needed to get one of those duct tape things going on so they can get the dress the right size. Basically, cover in duct tape, cut the person out of it, and then use that for the size base for the dress. So yeah, we were over at my aunt's taking care of that. That and my cousin's mom is in town, so just visiting. And then we went out for Chinese. It was nice. Got some leftovers. As far as the past week goes, nothing major. I actually worked all 3 days. So hey, that's a change from the past couple weeks. Also, on a side note, suffering from a bit of a headache tonight, so yeah, that's gonna be a thing. So if I sound a bit off, that's why. Thankfully, I'm wide awake, so that's not really a problem this time around. Uh, yeah, I was originally gonna do a DDO stream today, but yeah, I woke up late. I wasn't really feeling it, so I figured I can go with them today, do that thing, and stream tomorrow. I also need to record a snack video at some point because I have depleted the backlog. Yep, that that's a thing that has happened. But yeah, that's been fine. Yeah, not much has been going on. Like, fairly quiet week. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about, but I don't know. Like I said, it was boring. Ugh. I mean, I munched on some of the Uwajimaya snacks I picked up. Put down my notes for when I do the eventual review of it. Since I'm changing up the format for season 3, I don't have to worry about eating it on camera. Just take the notes, talk about my thoughts on it, and rate it. That's it. Won't be like the permanent new format, just like a occasional thing. Probably for like large groups of items. Eh. Yeah, when I do that, I can finally get around to eating all those other Kit Kats I have. I, those have been waiting around since last summer. But yeah, that's basically what's been going on with me. So, how was your week?
Well, I can say the signature date of the month found something a little interesting regarding one of the game shows that I used to watch. Seems they do a special newlywed show every year.
Oh. Huh.
Yes, new husband, new wife playing the games, bidding up front, and not as many buzzers as one would probably expect. Nice spins. Second time watching the Chase on ABC this week. It's not just markers in this version, but also Three Jeopardy Legends, James, Ken, and Brad. Some interesting things going on. Some interesting things going on with our guests.
Oh.
Shibo have been out on several accounts. Once was Hello Family Girls Night they usually do. Yesterday, spent a good chunk of the day prepping for visas. So hopefully she'll be out. She'll be back across the Atlantic by mid spring. We'll swap to the weekly dinner arrangements as a result. Usually, was supposed to be pizza this time around, but that went to earlier tonight.
Hmm.
And I DoorDashed for dinner last night. This has been for a while. Let's get the sheet prepped for the last 24 hours.
Hmm. So, anything else?
Except for a headache from yesterday that I'm not interested in discussing just yet.
Fair enough. So, the main topic for this week, the 2009 Wonder Woman animated film. So, initial thoughts? I liked it. It was pretty good. Writing was pretty solid. They didn't shy away from violence. I read apparently the first cut was going to be rated R, so they had to cut some more stuff. So it's like, yeah, there's blood and death and everything. Uh, let's see now. Random thoughts about the movie. As per usual, the Greek gods are kind of dicks. Yeah, so the main villain is Ares, and like, okay, they have Ares captured, they're gonna kill him, and then Zeus is like, no, don't kill him. Like, but he slaughtered our people. Aha, ha, ha, that's nice. Still no. It's like, okay, instead we'll seal his power, but only another god can release these shackles. Like, oh wow, give him an out. Like, and skipping around a little bit, but yeah, as you can imagine, Ares gets free, of course, and says like, oh, okay, let's go to Hades. Maybe like, surely he'll release my bonds. And it's like, okay, so yeah, Hades does that, and I'm kind of split on it. On one hand, this version of Hades is kind of a manipulative dickbag. On the other hand, you could also argue that he was giving the Ares the rope of which to hang himself with. So, like, on the other hand, it's like, don't worry, I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon. Yeah, because media has, like, this tendency to make Hades out to be like, oh, he's Lord of the Realm of the Dead, so clearly he must be really evil. But from what I could tell from, Greek mythology, out of all the Greek gods, Hades was one of the more chill ones. Okay, comparatively, all the Greek gods are kind of dicks, but of the I think Hades was more chill than the rest. So like, I'm kind of split on Hades. That and like the design, it's like kind of chubby, drinking wine. I was like, for a moment, it's like, wait, is that Hades or Dionysus? speaking of Hades, I really need to get around to playing that game. Like, I played it a little bit, but it's very fun. It's been a while. But yeah, so that's a thing. And yeah, long story short, Ares does end up getting killed. Duh. It's like, and we actually get to see the aftermath. Like, Hades is like, well, they said it would have been best to keep the shackles on, and like, but yeah, maybe they're right. But that's fine. I have a new servant. So like, okay, Hades, not true evil, but more like ambiguous evil, neutral ish. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where on the scale he lies. And right, so going over my thoughts here and there. But yeah, so yeah, one of the Amazons like very peaceful, enjoys reading books, not much of a fighter. Long story short, gets killed, and then later in the movie, Hades does a whole, aha! Now the now the dead Amazons are fighting your Amazons, haha! And said Amazon also comes back, and it's like, okay, now she can fight. So it's like I guess, and eventually she gets control of the body back, and it's like, and she can still fight. So I guess being dead imparts knowledge of fighting, or maybe she did know, and it kind of like made her more willing to fight. I don't know. It's like, eh.
The other side has a tendency to do opposites.
Fair, fair. So yeah, it's like, okay. So how Hades escaped is like one of the Amazons guarding him fell for him. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you cut us off from the world of man. And it's like, lady wants to get laid too, you know? And like there's this whole bit in the middle of the film where it's like, okay, need to open the gate to Tartarus. But to do that, there needs to be a sacrifice. And I was half expecting him to use her as the sacrifice. But no, they get one of the armed soldiers they brought with them. It's like, okay. Like, I mean, betrayal Amazon ends up getting killed anyway. But yeah, I was expecting it to be done by Ares. So props to Ares for not being like that kind of guy. Like, I mean, hey, keep your loyal soldier / love interest with you, I guess. Like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, like as per usual, Steve Trevor's plane crashes on Themyscira, and I guess they patch it up and made it so it's invisible now. It's like, I mean, I know they've been getting books from the outside world, but like, that's a military plane. How did they fix it up? How do they know how to fix it up? How did they make it invisible? These questions are not answered. Or did they do like a quick ritual to get a blessing from Hephaestus to repair and bless the jet or something? I don't know.
Large possibility. I'm sure it's explained somewhere comic wise, but that's usually an area I don't question.
Yeah. Also said plane fires invisible missiles. Good to know. Wait. I just had a thought. So they took the invisible jet to the island that had the gateway to Tartarus. But they took a helicopter away from said island to get Diana to the hospital. But later, they're taking the jet to. But if the jet was still on the island, then how did they get the jet back? Did they take another helicopter back to the island to get the jet? Slight plot hole?
One possibility, but we also saw it pilotless when it was introduced.
Fair. Oh god, like we don't need a driver. We let a god take the wheel. It's like, yeah, hey Hermes, yeah, we left the jet on Tartarus Island. Can you go grab that for us? Thanks. We'll be at this location around 5 p.m. But yeah, the characters were written pretty well. Like, Steve really wants to get with Diana. Diana is not having any of that. Also, fun fact, do not challenge an Amazon to a drinking contest, they'll win. Yeah. Though I did find it funny that they talk about oh yeah, women always like the bad boys. Oh, God of War, wow, you're cute. Some nice guy yeah, we're just friends. like, like, yeah, don't date the God of War. That'll only end in bad things. Although on a side note, as far as depictions of Ares go, my favorite has always been the depiction from the Hercules TV series. He was fun. But yeah, it's like, so there's this whole, I realize I'm kind of jumping all around, but like this is, I'm trying to stay away from just doing a pure recap. So I think this kind of helps. That and like I said, kind of random thoughts here and there, less structured. So yeah, there's this big contest to choose who's gonna be taking Steve back. And it's like, so of course Diana wants to go, but her mom's like, oh, you can't. So of course she competes and has the helmet on, so it's like, can't identify her. Like, and clearly she wins. Like, okay, reveal your identity. And she takes off the helmet. And I was commenting like, and you're grounded. But Hippolyta was actually pretty chill with the whole thing. It's like, okay, you know what? You've earned this. Like, you've proved that you were clearly better than the rest of them, that you can handle yourself. Okay, you win this time. Like, okay, good on Hippolyta. It's like, she may be really protective, but like, okay, yeah, she's a good mom.
Yes, certainly. Glad they didn't overplay it like most situations often have it.
Yeah. Normally it'd be like, what? No. No, you're disqualified. No. But it's like, fair enough. You won fair and square. Good on you. You can go. And that was quite refreshing to see. We also got some good use out of the lasso of truth. Like the one scene in the chat where Steve's going like, yeah, it's like, I act like this because I'm insecure, and like, wait, why am I saying all this? Looks down, the rope's on his foot. And it's like, oh god, I hope they can't mass manufacture that thing. Yeah, like the lasso of truth is one of those things that it's a useful tool, but I swear it doesn't get used as often as you would think it should be, you know? Like, it's literally, okay, this thing's indestructible, and well, it's being used on you, you can't lie. It's like, it has very good utility. And the fact that it was actually used fairly well in this movie was nice to see. I mean, hell, even the invisible jet, like the invisible jet, the lasso of truth, classic staples of the Wonder Woman series, of Wonder Woman, that I swear gets underutilized in a lot of things. Although to be fair with the DC live action films, those are more or cheesy and campy, and they clearly want a dark, edgy storyline. So of course it wouldn't really fit. Unless it did use the lasso of truth, I don't really remember. I only saw the Wonder Woman movie once, and I never watched Justice League or Batman v Superman. So, eh.
It was there, I can say that much. Although, yes, a lot of merchandise in that case usually center towards Sword and Shield.
Yeah. Although I'm split on my opinion for Ares. Like, with this one, it's more straightforward. Okay, raise an army, kill everything. Meanwhile, in the live action film, Ares was more of the background manipulator type. Like, hiding in plain sight, pulling the strings. I mean, Ares has like a chaotic anger field around him, so like, oh, everyone in his general vicinity, it gets more violent, but like, I don't know, something about like the more manipulative Ares kind of appeals to me more. Just because I'm kind of tired of the generic big, strong, crush, kill, destroy Ares. You know, it just seems kind of played out. So having that from the live action film was rather refreshing. You know?
I suppose. At the same time, though, you don't get to the traditional facial hair stroking type of ordeal.
There. Yeah. Yeah.
Slightly better than in this case, though, because of course it's Alfred and Melina.
Yeah.
But there's also some humanity moments.
Yeah.
His emotions were Thrax, and of course, as you mentioned,
Yep.
bit of a thing for Persephone.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, unfortunately, like, I found Ares' characterization to be kind of uh, generic. I mean, again, good on him for not sacrificing, what was it,
Persephone.
Persephone, yes. Like, I'm still on the fence on whether or not there was any actual feelings towards her, or if it was just like the playing the long game of manipulation through through emotions kind of deal.
Admittedly, it was no help, but at the same time, again,
Yeah.
they kept us guessing.
Yeah. But yeah, in Persephone, it's like, yeah, I guess every sweet talked her over time, and so of course she betrays the Amazons, lets him free, and eventually she dies at the hands of Hippolyta. But not before, or basically going on a whole like, yeah, we were safe and everything, but you know, some of us wanted to get laid and have a family. Ever think of that? Like, fair enough. Like, yeah, shutting yourself off from the world is not healthy.
Understandably, though, Hippolyta wasn't exactly careful the first time around.
Fair.
But yeah, that was definitely one of the bigger talking points when it comes to whenever the Amazons come up in discussion.
Yeah. But yeah, after everything's said and done, of course Diana goes back to Themyscira. But it's like, she's sad. She misses the outside world. So Paula, being the great mom that she is, it's like, okay, you know what? Have the outfit, be our emissary, but come back home every now and then, you know? It's like, she's good. Like, but yeah, pretty solid movie. For the most part, I'd rate it higher than the live action film. But again, and I rate that film's Aries maybe a little bit higher than this film's Aries. But other than that, really good. Also, Tara Strong's character gets killed off fairly early in the film. The character of whose name I won't mention, or else I'll activate my device. Hint: it is the name of what you call out with the Amazon Echo, or those devices, you know. It's always listening. But yeah. Oh yeah. Also, Ares had a son named Thrax that gets promptly killed off. I'm sorry, I can't hear the name Thrax and not think of the one-off villain from what was it? Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Mainly because, like, okay, Thrax is an actual character from Greek mythology, but like, I swear, like, he like never gets used. It's like, uh, how to put it in comparison? Like, Ares, the other Greek gods. Like, yeah, that's like characters from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Thrax, you might find him somewhere in the Silmarillion. It's like, it's canon, but like, no one but the actual diehard fans really looks into that stuff. I mean, hell, on the wiki page, in popular culture, this film is the only mention. It's like, for the description, he gets like two sentences, like, oh yeah, he was a son of Ares. I guess apparently one of the names of Ares himself was Thrax. Guess he was regarded as a patron of Thrace. Like, that's all we know. Like, that's all we get from this character. I mean, props to them for using lesser known characters of Greek myth. I mean, okay, they did their research. Good on them.
Like I hinted, Hippolyta didn't exactly do so well the first time around.
Yeah.
And Matera could not but Matera, I could not but pinpoint exactly when exactly you would notice that. Only a few times you get certain Twilightisms, but other than that,
There's also the character of Artemis, who actually undergoes quite a. I'm not sure if settle is the right word, but like also undergoes a bit of character development. And she's starting off as kind of a dick. Like, so first battle against Ares, character that eventually dies, like doesn't want to fight. Like, oh fine, at least maybe you'll die like a warrior or something. Then time passes. Said character still reads, but then gets killed. Then eventually she has to confront that. Artemis has to confront that character when she's brought back from the dead, and it's like, yeah, it's like clearly like, okay, like how should I put it? She gains some respect for said character, and at the end, like starts to learn how to read as a result of the whole thing. Like, okay, okay. Like, it was nice background character development. I liked that.
yes, this is for the people. Usually not the most favorite for the majority, but yes, towards the end.
But yeah, pretty good film. I liked it. Like as usual, like DC animated stuff is usually fairly solid. It's just when they get into live action that it becomes a bit not so great.
The EU is usually the major controversy point. Stuff before which,
Yeah.
mileage varies as time goes. Mileage varies as time goes on those fronts, but
I mean, at least with the more recent stuff, it seems that they're like changing gears and not taking themselves quite as seriously. Which might help in the long run.
like I said, it depends on choice prior to EU.
Yeah.
According to a lot of people, this was a stronger interpretation of Diana from in animation history.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there was a novelization of it that actually toned down the violence. Yeah, and apparently there was some interest in making a sequel, but yeah, due to slow sales of the film, that didn't work out, which is unfortunate.
Point of the end would have been point of the end, no doubt, was one of the major reasons as to why that possibility kind of rose up at one point.
Mm-hmm.
As it has been, though, for the majority of the DCUAOM, most of the stuff is usually standalone. Although, nonetheless, there's some connections in certain areas.
Yeah.
Film perceived
Like a decent.
film
Oh, sorry.
perceived
I was gonna say. Oh, you go first.
film perceiving this, for instance, is supposed to be part of the Nolanverse.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say like a decent number of the DCUAO movies or the DC Universe animated original movies are actually uh, basically kind of adaptations of actual storylines, like The Killing Joke, Dark Knight Returns, Under the Red Hood, Crisis on Two Earths, and so on.
Death and Return of Superman is done twice. Only in the second time around, they saved Reign of the Superman for a second part.
It's there's one storyline that I want them to like do an animated thing of, and that's the Batman No Man's Land storyline.
AKA the moment where Quinn finally became part of the comic books.
Yeah. AKA, oh crap, a lot of the buildings in Gotham weren't earthquake proofed. Including Wayne Manor, due to the whole, yeah, secret superhero cave underneath that, like, can't really have people poking around there. But yeah, it's a pretty solid story arc. I'm just hoping at one point they'll pick that one up.
In this case, this is the super stuff This was the Gods Immortals, aka George Perez's revision, with naturally some heavy alterations.
Actually, I'm surprised they haven't done an animated version of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like, I mean, yeah, it would be very complex and weird and like introduce all sorts of characters, but it's like an iconic story.
And to do it right, it could possibly require a trilogy or
That's fair.
at least
Because even the
or at least more than just cramming it, or at least more than just cramming it into a single film like they did the first time around with Doomsday.
yeah, like even in the actual graphic novel itself, it has kind of like arcs to it. Yeah, that would definitely be interesting to see. Eh. Yeah, we're kind of getting sidetracked there just a little bit. But yeah, overall, really good film. Music was good, characters were good, action was good. Can't say I have any real complaints about it.
It's interesting how they explain certain aspects of outfit. Donning colors of the four nations of sign respect and peace.
Yeah, that was nice.
Resist in charge of his Zeus Curse Festus.
Mm-hmm.
Last interested upon them by Hestia. And it can be used with some people's of preferences of a change, but it has still a nice change regardless from the usual distress.
Yeah.
Good decision. Good decision not giving the mysterious bandits a country of origin in an attempt to avoid controversy. Even though some tensions are at this point in time starting to arise elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only got part of that. Sorry.
With these, not only do you still get this one at the end, but design sort of helped. Design sort of helped to make things a bit unique from most other interpretations.
Yeah. Although, speaking of designs, it's, just checking something. Eh. Yeah, the designs were good. I thought I saw a similarity in character designs to another character, but like, nah, I was just imagining things. Uh, yeah, character designs were pretty solid. Oh, okay. Aside from Hades, Hades just seemed kind of off.
Like I said, though, quite unique.
True.
With this, you don't think of a Dark Master's figure, a friendly trickster, or fiery James Woods.
Yeah. Definitely different. But yeah, character designs. That's definitely a thing we'll be talking about in the news segment. Oof.
Fillion, decent Trevor here, though I wouldn't though I expressed them in mind hearing what some people thought he was better at. Green Lantern Hal Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Third time knows for zero sin. Second in something good. Second in something good though.
Mm-hmm.
Good way to
So, the discussion. Oh.
good way to introduce you to its genuine medicine.
Hmm.
DiMaggio expressed think of being a bit unrecognizable.
Oh, so he was in this film, huh? Like, Deimos, that was a character. And Homeless Man. Who can forget Homeless Man?
Like I said, unrecognizable. The performances you're mostly familiar with was last heard within these particular movies. Best memories is Toyman from Doomsday.
Yeah.
Also, the first thing they proved that doesn't quite matter on the setting. The Wonder Woman can pretty much be anytime, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And in a point of just as Artemis would be taking up taking up dinosaur for a brief time in the comics. Dawson would eventually be dying a couple more times in the series. Be dying a couple times in the series, most notably Throne of Atlantis.
Hmm. Cool.
But yes, I like Gilgamesh, but with this one is a tad bit more straightforward. No surprise final boss in video game turns, basically.
Yeah. No last minute hidden twist that changes everything or anything like that.
And also the extra appearances of Apollo in this movie kind of help with the character, because with the EU it's just kind of brushed over.
Yeah.
It's still a bit better than Justice League, but
But yeah, it's like in this film, Hippolyta just doesn't take a backseat for the rest of the film. Once the action really gets started, she's in there with everyone else. Like, so yeah, like no taking back seats this film. Eh.
How did we get this one started?
So yeah, the news. So we got some more info on Gen 5 ponies. So first off, the good, sort of. So yeah, the Netflix series is gonna be 2 specials and an 8-episode series. Designs seem to be about on line with like the movie for the most part, so that's good. The bad. They recast all the voices. Yeah, I actually looked up the new voices. Like, wow, I haven't heard of about any of these things. The even worse. So, along with the Netflix series, we're also getting a YouTube series of 5-minute shorts. And oh god, I hate to say this, but Pony Life had better character designs.
Hitch in particular got a bit of comparison fodder over Twitter.
Yeah. It's like now I'm starting to worry. Now I'm beginning to worry about the Netflix series because, like, if I mean, on one hand, it's 3D now, so I don't know what their budget is. On the other hand, it's only 8 episodes, and like I'm wondering, like, okay, if they cheaped out on the animation for the YouTube thing, how much did they cheap out for the actual series? I'm really hoping it's not a case of, oh, they love friendship is magic. They'll get this up no matter what we do. Like, I know I'm being kind of cynical here, but like, Pony Life and the season 10 comics really burned a lot of goodwill. I mean, okay, I know the season 10 comics had nothing to do with like the usual crew, but still, by association, I really hope it goes well. But at least for the YouTube series, I don't have high hopes. And apparently there's what was it? Let me get to the page. For the YouTube, 70 episodes. Also, apparently it was outsourced to Malaysia. So, make of that what you will. Also, the names of the series, like the YouTube one is My Little Pony, Tell Your Tale, and the Netflix one is Make Your Mark. It's like, just just doesn't have the same kind of ring to it, you know? Oh, hey, it's raining. Huh. Anyway, uh, oh, and a G5 comic series. So, at least the comics are continuing. Uh, Quality yet to be seen, I guess. Like from what I've read of the, from what I've read about the Generations comic, that was a complete disaster. Uh, I don't know. It's just. Well, I mean, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, I guess. If all else fails, we still always have Gen 4 fanfiction.
Title-wise, I'd say it's based around character journeys.
Probably. Yeah, a special at the end of May and and a holiday special at the end of November. With the what do we know of it having like a image with have a sparkling Christmas on it? It's like I'm hoping that's not actually an actual thing in the series because like okay I know history in universe history is a bit but it's like okay please still be heartwarming like we don't need to get keep the real world stuff out of it. You know, it's like, uh, if only for continuity's sake.
Don't think that's a final decision because if I remember correctly, that was from months ago. Whenever Page usually do special greetings.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fair enough. Here's hoping it's good. It's like, and maybe like the 8 episode series thing is just like them kind of testing the waters first. You know, seeing how it goes, maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
Kind of get the feeling that it'll probably work similarly to main series was put in live. One was a bit more serious.
yeah. Ooh.
Getting back to seasonal social page greetings. They had Palentine's Day cards.
Yep.
Not quite sure if it's either reinvention or a possible new universal title next to single awareness, but wasn't that touch?
Mm-hmm.
Also, technically there would be 4 of these, I guess, unless you heard of Never Have I Ever, because Anna was previously in Pony Life.
Oh yeah, yeah. I, I I did remember seeing that. I just it kind of skipped my mind, you know. Like, okay, there is someone who was in Pony Life.
But again, one has to kind of roll with it, especially considering what they did to Discord.
Yeah. And here's hoping the new voices are good.
Could be Jeff Bennett or more close to home, Trevor Duvall. One was one was apparently trying to do with Jesse Ventura. The other was Christopher Walken.
Ah.
Seems pretty clear. Animation posted another deleted scene storyboard.
Yep.
Large plethora of product unveilings also.
Mm-hmm.
Bundle caps, Kickstarter for pins. It's from a Swedish magazine. Hopefully the comic gets translated eventually.
Yeah.
Not sure yet for the Dragon they showed was merchandise exclusive, but interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, quite a huge roll of announcements to a point where it was one of the top trends on Twitter this week.
Mm-hmm.
On a semi-transitional note, ponies are apparently going to be poised to appear in the Rescue Ranger movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like, okay.
From what I've seen, nonset culture seems to be the approach for this one.
Yeah.
Naturally, they should have the licenses, especially considering that they used to sell Build-A-Bears in the parks.
Mm-hmm. So, apparently a Wonder Twins movie is in the works at DC and HBO Max. Okay, I guess. That's a thing.
One of the guys working on Black Adam is such a write and direct.
Hmm.
My guess is this is an upcoming EU thing, given that Black Adam was
Y-
live action.
yeah.
I think it's kind of the same thing they did with Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, and things like that. Kind of bring the obscurity into the main screen.
Yeah.
Had to look at the unbearable weight of massive talent trailer, and I swear I don't know whether or not that's Pedro Pascal, but he looks quite a bit like Neil Patrick Harris.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh, that's because he is starring in this. Huh. Thought that face looked familiar. Spider Politics have been in terms of Uncharted. numbers-wise, it's been doing. Numbers-wise, it looks like it's doing quite well.
That's good.
Stewart apparently reprising as well as Professor X for Multiverse of Madness.
Huh. Cool.
Got a trailer for Rings of Power.
Hmm.
Pattinson pitching Court of Owls in a potential Batman sequel.
Nice.
Anime Lord of the Rings film War of the Rohirrim. Um, got a first look at that. Release coming April 21st in a couple of years.
Okay.
Hammerhead X Flights and Creation Film Steep.
So apparently there might be a new film in the Star Trek reboot franchise.
Seriously, can't remember the name for that verse, but Pine's returning.
Mm-hmm.
Good, that's surprisingly still of interest. Freeze has also been pitched for the Batman sequel.
Okay. I mean, if done well.
Given Arnold's pretty much a rare occurrence these days and his age, I think we're in with a fair shot.
Not exactly what I meant, but I meant in the sense that I think like when they did the whole continuity reboot, they turned Breeze into kind of a creep.
I see. Again, though, higher possibility of pun avoidance.
Yeah.
Halo apparently renewed early for a second season.
Ooh, nice.
Live action Knuckles series in the works for Paramount Plus alongside third Sonic film.
That's cool.
New Netflix show to be based around employees of the last blockbuster video in America.
Hmm.
Game prepares a special dedicated reprint of JLA/Avengers
Yeah.
coming this March.
Yeah, reprints are always nice.
Last of Us apparently getting delayed.
Hmm.
Ruben Fleischer showing interest in bringing the car chase to an Uncharted sequel.
Oh.
seems to be the reasons why Quan left following his stints as Data and Shortround.
Hmm.
Not a lot of offers, even there was one very typical. Wasn't fun to audition.
Ah.
There's a new hotel apparently that allows you to sleep next to the Great Barrier Reef.
Ooh. That's neat. Apparently, Stranger Things Season 5 will be the final season.
Interesting to say, I think in some fans, apparently the coming season 4, it's said to be the biggest.
Hmm.
Noah Hawley's new Alien series to be set 70 years from now on Earth. Filming to
Hmm.
begin next year. Amusing a little bit from Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Special saucer explosions. It's like a recipe. I see some directors do it. They look cheesy or won't. Shockwave. It's like making a Caesar salad.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Gump trio reuniting for filmation of here. Hank starring Zemeckis directing. Aircraft co-writing.
Hmm.
George R. R. Martin, Saints as Deal with Marvel, to create a comic adaptation of Wild Cards anthology.
Oh.
Most recent example I can think of original creator working closely in terms of adaptations. But two other examples I can think of in the past were Princess Bride's author and Last Unicorn's author.
Yeah.
Great Western Steamboat event. Plans for the Super Museum over 4th of July weekend.
Hmm.
175th anniversary of Virginia Truckee. Senators Smith 2 confirmed attending. Across the pond, Penda's castle finally moved under its own steam.
Huh.
First time since it was back in Australia. Interesting response from Dimaggio regarding upcoming Futurama revival.
Hmm.
About self-respect. Honestly, being tired of a new industry that's become far too corporate and takes advantage of artists' time and talent.
Yeah.
Three Demon Slayer novels to be published from Viz Media.
Nice.
Got at least one more year of eShop for 3DS and the Wii U platforms.
Yeah.
Mario Kart DS, of course, apparently can be played without actually buying.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Bank will be an eShop survivor.
Yep.
Pokemon also get a new travel variety show this April.
Hmm.
EA executives blaming Halo and health crisis for Battlefield 2042's fails.
Oof.
And finally, our can also go towards the family and friends of Bill Woodman and PJ O'Rourke of the National Lampoon magazine.
Hmm.
Beryl Verter, Sherlock Jekyll. David Brenner, Oscar-winning film editor, 1990. Independence Day, Man of Steel. Dale Critchlow, Napoleon Dynamite. So much Disturbers fun, but also infamously give us The Earth's End.
Hmm.
Manabu Hashi. animated from Toei.
Yep.
Toshiro over there. Prince Makaru, Promised Neverland, One Piece, Winnie the Pooh. Saki Nida. Black and White, Kill la Kill.
Yep.
Lindsay Perlman, American Housewives General Hospital. She apparently went missing beforehand.
Ooh.
And the biggest one this week, Ivan Reitman.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbusters Strips, Twins, Skinner and Cub, Space Jam. At least 2 of the Beethoven films.
Ah.
Heavy Metal, and Baywatch. So, had a good time watching the turning point on two different accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit to talk about in terms of happenings.
Yep.
Next week we read out this year's MOL with another round of imp, but this time with if my scanning was correct. Former relationship was a flossing one.
Hmm.
Until which. Stay safe, stay well, get vexed, get boosted. Hopefully, we will see you all next week. Take care.